In Black culture, Janet Hubert will always be Aunt Viv. And that is exactly why Cassandra Freeman deserves every flower that we can give her. Because not only did she become the next Aunt Viv, she introduced Vivian Banks to an entire new generation. And she amplified everything that we loved about the original character. Cassandra Freeman, this video is for you. And in my book, you are forever goated, easily. Because stepping into the role of Aunt Viv, it was not a regular acting assignment. This is one of the most beloved mothers in television history. People were always going to compare her to Janet Hubert, while comparing this reboot on Peacock to the original series. But Cassandra, she didn't imitate anybody. She took the intelligence, the elegance, and the strength and cultural awareness that we associated with the original Aunt Viv and just gave us more room to see her as a complete woman, an artist, a wife, a mother, a Black woman trying to support everybody around her without losing herself. She was simply Aunt Viv amplified, and the passing of the torch could not have been more symbolic. See, Daphne Maxwell Reid, who us culturally we identified as light-skinned Aunt Viv, entered Cassandra's Aunt Viv story through her art as an art executive. And Janet Hubert, who we identify culturally as a dark-skinned Aunt Viv, the original, she entered the story through motherhood, appearing on the show as a midwife. Cassandra stood at the intersection of both of these women and carried Vivian Banks into an entirely new era. Both previous Aunt Vivs entered Cassandra's story through two of the most important parts of her character, being a mother and an artist. And Cassandra simply held it down. Her acting was powerful. Her voice is rich and has this warm, slightly raspy quality that can be comforting in one scene and commanding in the next. She brought a maternal presence, but she also gave Vivian frustration, ambition, vulnerability, romance, and complexity. And yes, she is a gorgeous, dark-skinned Black woman who carried herself with elegance and confidence that the role simply demanded. And she's also from Jacksonville, Florida. Duval is one of the places that I call home. I spent a lot of my life there. So that connection made this even more personal for me. And her father, Mac Freeman Jr., was Jacksonville's first Black television news reporter. See, she was raised by a Black man who broke barriers in television. And she grew up to become the matriarch of one of the most important Black families in television history. Kind of feels like she was made for this role, if we're being honest. And even before Bel-Air, she was already putting in work. Inside Man, the show Atlanta, TV show Luke Cage. And beyond acting, she's even worked to create more opportunities and connections for other creatives. And for those who don't know, I break down both the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and the Bel-Air series from Peacock on my nostalgia page. You can visit my playlist and watch those if you like. Because for me, nostalgia has never been a trend. It's been my memory, survival, and just a part of life. So Cassandra Freeman stepping into this role connected to some of my most important childhood memories. So yes, Janet Hubert will always be the original Aunt Viv. She paved the way. And Daphne Maxwell Reid, she also deserves respect. But Cassandra Freeman, you took that baton, ran your own race, and added another chapter to this legacy. You are Aunt Viv amplified. You didn't borrow our nostalgia, you added to it yourself. You deserve all the flowers, and you did an amazing, phenomenal job. I've watched that series like 4 or 5 times, probably more than that. Thank